to see you again.
You too.
I want to ask you, what drives you to succeed, and what kind of car do you drive?
What drives me to succeed? Probably the people around me, the people I care about. I mean, they're my motivation. That's probably what drives me to succeed.
Family?
Yeah, family, friends, and you know what I'm passionate about. And I drive a car that gets me from point A to point B safely. It works very well.
You're not one to brag about?
No, but it works. Has a couple wheels on it. It's good.
Could you tell us what did you have to do that was new and different in this picture?
I was actually bummed. There's a lot more action in this picture, but for me specifically, I'm a wolf when there's any action going on. So I was bummed that I wasn't involved in too much action. I got to kiss Bella for the first time.
Oh.
Yeah, so that was probably the biggest thing.
She a good kisser?
Definitely. Bella is a fantastic kisser. So, yeah, that was probably the most exciting new thing.
Did you and Rob compare notes afterwards?
We didn't. We didn't. That
Well, if you did, you probably wouldn't tell us, right?
Exactly.
Taylor, it's been a fantastic year for you. You've emerged as the breakout star from this series. Hollywood is, you're the new it guy, the go-to guy. What has it been like from your point of view to suddenly get to this place where people can usually only dream about, and you now have an entourage?
I don't know about that, but it's exciting. I mean, this franchise has been such an incredible platform. It's amazing. So I'm so thankful for this franchise and everything it provided and the opportunity. I've had the time of my life the past 2 years. I'm just so thankful to be in this position now. I'm having fun making movies. It's great. I've met a lot of new people, had the opportunity to work with a lot of new talented people, and it's amazing is the best word for it.
How do you decide on what your movies are going to be now?
It's kind of just a gut instinct. It's whatever, you know, whatever I want to watch. You read a lot of scripts, and it's, I mean, whenever you can finish one, and you really love it. That's it. You know, it's all based on the story and the character, but you know, I want to challenge myself to many different things. I definitely don't want to stay on one road, so I try and change it up.
So you're playing a superhero next?
Not next, but hopefully soon. Next is Abduction. I'll just be a regular guy who is in an interesting situation, but maybe a superhero in about a year from now.
And do you have an entourage?
I wouldn't say so.
Okay.
No, I got a couple people, a couple friends.
Okay.
Taylor, you haven't had a lot of downtime between these films, and I'm just wondering, is it easier for you to just keep the muscle mass on? And is there any weakness that you have for a certain food that it's just like, you know, you got to let yourself have that food?
Occasionally you really want some ice cream, for sure. So, you know, you'll cheat a time or two. But when it comes closer to like filming or when you have a magazine photo shoot, then you really just gotta stay strong and cut it out. But the most interesting thing I found is it's just as hard to maintain it as it was to put it on in the first place. Like, trust me, it was really hard putting it on, and it's just as hard keeping it. You know, if I am really busy, I can't get into the gym, or if I'm really busy and I don't have time to eat, it just loses like that, and it takes 10 times the amount of time to put it back on again. So it's tough.
Over here.
Hi, Taylor. I was just wondering if you could talk a little bit about, Jacob seems much more mature in this movie. Do you think that has something to do with you coming into your own as well?
No, I mean, I don't know if it really has anything to do with me. It's, you know, kind of all in the books, and that's what we go off of, because that's exactly what the fans want to see. But yeah, Jacob definitely matures quite a bit, kind of, because he's been dealing with his new self now. He's come to know his new self, and the situations he's been put in, you know, romantic-wise, and I mean, a lot of stuff. He deals with a lot. He becomes frustrated in this one a little bit because he gets this close all the time and then gets told no over and over again. So it's quite a bummer, but he's persistent.
Okay, I was also wondering if you could talk a little bit about working more closely with Robert in this film.
Yeah, that's right. It was kind of, I mean, I had a scene or two in New Moon where I was able to work with Rob. and I was really excited to work with him for Eclipse quite a bit. And the hardest thing I found about working with Rob is usually I have to hate him in the scenes, and it's difficult. He's such a funny, nice guy. It's literally like we're doing a scene where we're yelling and screaming at each other, and he's like slapping my shoulder, and I'm shoving him off me, and we're screaming, we're spitting in each other's faces, and then as soon as they call cut, we just are bust out laughing. It's it is really hard to be mean to Rob, definitely.
Was there a favorite one you did?
Probably the tent scene. Tent scene's it's really good because it has that intensity, but it's pretty humorous at the same time.
Over here.
Hi Taylor, right here. Good to see you even though your shirt is on. Yeah, so you're kind of half naked for the whole thing. One of the favorite lines that had all our audience cracking up is when Edward tells Bella, like, can you just put on a shirt? I was kind of wondering, like, was that in the script, or were you all standing around and it's like, okay, we're totally exploiting me here, like, let's just
I believe it actually was in the book, but it definitely was in the script. And no, I couldn't wait. When I read that for the first time, I couldn't wait for Rob to deliver that. It was funny, but yeah, it was quite obvious. It's like they pull up in the middle of the street, and I'm like, even the position I'm in, I'm not just like, I'm like leaning back up against the car with my hands behind me. It looks like I'm just like waiting, flexing for her to come up. Those are like the awkward scenes. It's like when everybody is fully clothed, it's raining, and I'm just like waiting there, the only person just kind of like posing for them. It's,
We enjoyed it. And this might be a dumb question, but Breaking Dawn was finally announced, 2 movies. Is it going to be split, one movie from your perspective, one from Edward's, or do you know yet?
I don't know that. I do know it will be 2, which I'm extremely excited about. I think it's going to be great. Bill Condon's doing both. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait to work with him.
Do you have a clause in your new contracts that say you have to keep your shirt on or you have to take it off?
No clause. I mean, whatever the book says, that's most likely what we're going to do.
For abduction?
For abduction? No, I don't. I mean, really, it all comes down to character. And if I love the character and I love the story and the character requires me to be shirtless, or if it requires me to lose 30 pounds, I'm ready to do it.
Taylor, Stretch Armstrong is shirtless, the doll, so that kind of indicates that you may have to be shirtless in that film.
They're doing all the, designing and all that stuff right now, writing the script, everything. So we haven't seen any finalized version, but chances are it might be a little different.
Do you know what the backstory is going to be yet for Stretch?
No. They're not finished with the script yet. I think they should be shortly, so hopefully we'll know soon. But the cool thing with the toy is there is no story.
Yeah.
Like with a superhero, you kind of got to stay along these lines, but a toy, you get to create everything, which is super exciting and creative.
Cool.
Taylor, what's the downside to this whirlwind you've been on the last couple of years, or is there one?
It's hard to choose one. It really is. There's a million times more pros than cons, for sure. Obviously, the privacy thing, it's a little different. It's usually not normal to wake up and have 12 paparazzi cars waiting outside to follow you to Starbucks in the morning or something. But like I said, there's a lot more pros, and I'm willing to put up with those cons for sure.
You have maybe the line of the movie when you get to say, I'm honored.
Right.
Let's talk about your reaction when you saw that line and then trying to get through that scene with a straight face.
It's true. Keeping the straight face was the tough thing. That was another line where I read it, and I loved the line, but I was like, this is going to be so hard to deliver, and especially with a straight face. So it was, I know, and looking Rob in the eyes as he's staring at me with that Edward look.
What was the line?
It says something, it says, after all, I am hotter than you.